See this right here? This is vanilla Minecraft. And that right there, that's a vanilla dirt block. I don't know about you, but it looks pretty dusty to me. Dusty? Because it's a dirt block. Okay. And now look at this. This is what the trailers look like. No, I'm just kidding. This is in-game. How did I do this? Hard work, dedication, grind, waking up at 6 o'clock every morning and doing nothing but finding out how to... It was a tutorial by a guy named Lowresbones. And no thanks to that video, we can go from this to this. And this to this. I mean, look how the food, like, you know? And you know how these things go. I'm gonna spend 100 days in a world that looks pretty much just like the Minecraft trailers. And listen, if at any second you feel like you're enjoying the video, maybe you've already started enjoying the video, I invite you to hit the subscribe button, because listen, if you stick around, you will have an amazing time. I do my best to ensure that. Now, what do you say we just do this thing? So the first place I spawn is a desert. I was kind of disappointed. I thought I was gonna spawn in like a, you know, plains biome. But I will say this, even though I spawned in the desert, it still looks really cool with this pack and stuff. And it almost kind of feels like I'm playing a different game. That's honestly how it feels to me. But anyway, after walking for a little while, I did find a nice not desert area. Right? Then I made some basic tools, and of course I need a snack. You know what my main problem is with this is that it just looks so nice that I'm so picky about the place that I could live. Like, I could have lived in this cave, but instead I used the entire day looking for, you know, just the exact perfect place to build my base, and I ended up having to sleep right in the middle of nowhere. The next day I found this cave that probably would have been cool to go check out, but I was way too coward to do that. So I just spent some time on the outside collecting some materials like coal and copper. And then I camped around these guys, and then look at this. My sword is sticking out my side. I don't know what mod is doing this, but I think it's pretty cool. And you see me sailing right now? That's because I'm still looking for the perfect base location. And you know what's funny? I think it has something to do with this whole pack and the look of the game right now. Because it just feels like I just want the perfect place to live in, so I can actually take in how good this all looks. But honestly, I'm wasting time. Except for mining coal. Coal's always good. I mean, look how cool this looks. Look how cool, like, this looks. Okay. I'm sleeping in the middle of nowhere, so it doesn't matter. On day 3, I was mostly walking in circles, I'll be honest, but I did find this village. And look at the sunset, dude. Like, it looks amazing. I also stole this guy's bed. The next morning, I borrowed some wheat, I borrowed this bell, and I borrowed these blocks that I don't know the name of. And then eventually, I actually found a pretty good place to live, and this is where I decided I was gonna set up my base. And for the next few days, it only made sense that I'd work on my base, and this was completely freestyle. I had no plan or idea about how I wanted the base to look. And then the wandering trader showed up, and he said something along the lines of, I have many weapons, but only one can truly be yours. Something like that. Something about rare weapons. I don't know. But anyway, back to real life, kind of. The base was taking some good shape right now. Collecting some sand. Listen, the base was almost done, right? It actually looks pretty good. And it's kind of funny, I wrote on my notes here that I finished the base on day 6, but no, I actually finished the base on day 7. What did happen on day 6 was me flooring the floor and roofing the roof. Are these words? They are now. I broke my ankles. Little fall damage is worth it, because look how nice this looks. On day 7, I made this finishing touch, and you know what? It's looking really good. And then it was time to start farming. Okay, I know what this looks like. Look, I need the leads, okay? There's no slimes anywhere. Hey, you can still stick around. I'm not gonna, you know, you can stay. Anyway, check out the base. Dude, like, it's looking good. And day 8 was pretty much me just planting sugarcane. The thing is, I know I'm gonna wanna go out and travel, and for that, I'm gonna need a map so I don't get lost. And, you know, we make paper with sugarcane, and then I found this massive cave, but there was no way I was going in there. No way. And then remember those blocks I don't know the name of? Yeah, they look really good in my base, turns out. And then on day 9, there was no running from it. It was time to explore this deep cave. The thing is, I'm not even playing in hardcore, but still the thought of dying is... let's not do that, okay? I don't know if you haven't noticed, but I'm running really low on iron. It's like everywhere I look, there's copper instead of iron. So I don't know, that kind of angered me on day 9 that there was so much copper but like no iron. I'm not gonna lie, this cave did look pretty cool, but I was shook a little bit. But I was kind of rewarded for my bravery in exploring that cave, because I found a diamond, like not too far down. Like, this is amazing. But the thing that's mostly amazing about this is this moment right here. You see that? I just opened the coordinates. Keep that in mind, because it's gonna come in handy later. Oh, and here's what I did with all that wheat I took from the villages. And then on day 10, I was back in that dumb cave. But this time I was kind of just looking for iron. And you know what? There was a bunch of iron to be found here. So, you know what? I'd say it was a pretty good day. But you won't believe what happened in the evening, right? So I was just looking. Oh, look how shiny the ground is. Everything looks amazing. I was having a great time. And then out of nowhere, these two... a creeper and a spider comes to attack me. How am I supposed to deal with this? I'm not in the mind space to deal with these two creeps. And I'm not even kidding. You can't make this stuff up. My guy was back in the morning. Like, what the heck? It's like I have a creeper sign on my back or something. And of course, now I had to clean up the mess that they left behind. You know, this was not a good day. Like, not a good start to a day at all. But you know what? The rest of the day went really well. I decided that it was time that I started to do some actual farming. And of course, before I knew it, I was having to deal with another creeper. I must have offended these things. Alright, so I did need a change of pace, so for the next 3 days, all I did was work on my farm, if you could call it that. So, one of the main things I was building was this chicken coop. My idea was that a bunch of chickens would, you know, stay at the top piece, and then I'd have an auto egg farm or whatever, and then the bottom part would just have a bunch of random chickens, just for the look, you know what I mean? On day 15, I found this data pack that counts the days for me. This means I don't even have to focus on what day it is. The game will just tell me. See that little number on my hotbar? Yeah, that's the day counter from now on. Anyway, for that whole day, all I did was work on the chicken coop. And then, once I got some chickens into the, you know, chicken coop, I was done. And then for the next 3 days after that, I worked on the area that I was going to put my cows in. Planning on putting it in this empty space right back there. And I must say, I'm really happy with how this thing turned out. And then on day 18, it was time to actually bring some cows into this thing. And I also almost lost one of my chickens. What? And then I finally finished up my iron armor. And then it was finally time to make that map I kept talking about. Because I wanted to start looking around, see what I could find in the world. But then I forgot how this map thing works. And then for some reason on day 19, I just stood there, doing nothing. I spent all of day 20 just mining. I figured I'm kind of running out of iron, so it would probably be a good idea to just spend an entire day looking for some of that. And you know what? I found this massive cave that had a bunch of iron inside. I did have to deal with a bunch of zombies, but you know what? At the end of the day, it was worth it. Oh, and then I remembered how to do the whole map thing. I don't know why I completely forgot how to do that. On day 21, I made a banner so I could set a marker on my map. But I forgot exactly how that works as well, so I decided to spend day 22 fishing for a name tag because I thought you need a name tag to name the banner so you could set the marker on the map, but you don't need a name tag to do that. This would have been a waste of time if I didn't find an enchantment book for Luck of the Sea, so hey, at least I did that. And then because of my inability to place fences, most of my cows escaped that evening. Yeah. And then I spent the day fishing again on day 23, and then I saw this monstrosity. Now, I'm a clown, right? So, for some reason, after pausing the recording, I forgot to unpause it, so it's suddenly day 26, and I'm in a boat looking at the sunset. I was doing that exploring I was talking about doing, and as you know, nothing comes easy. Oh, okay, no. Oh, okay. It's a good thing I found this island. That would have been the end of me. The next morning I continued my exploration. I was not really looking for something specific, but it would have been nice to find like a monster spawner or something. I was really just looking around at just how cool the world looked. What I did find on day 27 though was this pillager outpost. I was more just impressed at how cool their animations looked. You won't believe this guy. He followed me all the way to one of these random caves I was trying to camp in. Like, this guy's serious. Trust me when I say this, that's not the last I'm gonna see of them. The next day I stumbled across a village and naturally I borrowed all of their resources. And then I came across this river and I was struggling to get my horse into the boat. And look who was following us the entire time. And what an amazing, what amazing timing for the rain. Alright, horse? We're leaving now. I rode my trusty steed for quite a while until eventually I just had to sleep in the middle of nowhere. Alright, might need to... On day 29, I made it back to base safely. And then I secured my new horse and I stored some of the things I found at that village. And then for the rest of the day I was making copper ingots because for some reason I really wanted to make a giant copper sword. That was kind of random, I don't know. And then on day 30 I went out to go, mining because it seems like I run out of iron just by breathing. And then I'm not even kidding, I literally got jumped by this skeleton and this zombie. I don't know. Was I upset by this? Of course I was. Look at my things. Some of that stuff is gonna fall down into the abyss. The next day, Operation Get My Things Back. But first I need to deal with these two clowns. And then it turned out most of my stuff didn't actually fall down into the darkness. So I was pretty lucky on that part. But then I almost died straight away. On day 32, I figured it was time to work on the base a little bit, so I decided to add some stone paths to the base, I don't know. And then the next day, I came up with this really cool idea to build like this pedestal thing for the anvil. It was kind of freestyle, but I kind of had an idea in my head. Kind of like a floating anvil type thing. This took me all the way until day 35, and I'm gonna be honest. It's my favorite, that like, it looks so cool to me. Then on day 36 I made sidewalks. Yeah. And then on day 37 I went to go mining for some iron, but instead I found diamond. And then remember all that fishing I did for the name tag? Well, on day 38 I finally remembered that I don't need a name tag to make a marker on my map. And then I added some spruce to the anvil area. And then I enchanted my fishing rod with that Luck of the Sea book that I had. And look at this build. Does this not... It makes me happy to look at this. It just looks cool to me. It's honestly probably mostly the bare bones thing, but it just looks so cool to me. On day 39 I went fishing and found a rod with mending on it. And then on day 40 of course I tried to merge it with my fishing rod, but I couldn't. I didn't have enough XP. And of course the best way to deal with not having enough XP is building a XP farm. And in my case, a mob farm to be exact. And I worked on this thing for the next couple days. Like, this took a while to do. Only for it to pretty much completely fail on day 47. You see, it was spawning mobs just at such a slow rate. You might as well just go outside at nighttime to get XP. I mean, look at this. What am I doing? Watching paint dry? Either I built it wrong or it just doesn't work anymore. On day 48, I was just so out of ideas on how I was gonna get this to work that I just started building up and hoped that somehow this would make mobs start spawning. Yeah, I was desperate. And then on day 49, I just stared at this door. Because I didn't know what to do, right? No XP. I was stuck at this point. Okay, so I have no way of gaining XP and I need XP. So my only other option is to go out there and look for maybe a mob spawner that's naturally spawned into the world. And let me tell you, the BSL shaders with this bare bones texture pack just looks amazing. Anyway, I never found a mob spawner, but at least I did find some iron. And then day 51 felt like a normal day, right? I'm exploring, I'm looking for cool stuff, I'm admiring how cool this looks. I mean, this actually looks really cool. And then everything just goes completely wrong. See, if you remember correctly, I had a bed with me at all times during this adventure. And of course, I forgot that if I destroy the bed, my spawn point is deleted with the bed. Now I'm way back wherever I spawned at the beginning and I have no idea how to get back to my base. And the thing is, if I don't find my base, this whole thing is done. Remember when I told you to remember that I opened my coordinates on day 9? All I had to do was roll back the footage and boom, I could see my coordinates. Thank goodness, because I was fully prepared to just click stop recording right there. Because like, what was I gonna do? On day 52, while still looking for my base, I found a sunken shipwreck. There was nothing really cool inside it. And then on day 53, I finally made it home. I'm just so glad that I decided to open up my coordinates, because if I didn't, I don't even want to think about that. On day 54, I started collecting stone for a little build idea I had. I kind of wanted to build the same thing I built for the anvil area, except this time it would be for the nether portal. And then on day 55, I figured it was time to do some spelunking. Is that what it's called when you go into caves and stuff? Spelunking? I don't know, but anyway, I ended up finding not just iron, but diamond as well. And then on day 56 and day 57, I was desperate for this XP farm to work. Like, I didn't know what else to do. But of course, it didn't end up working. Well, actually, I got like 3 skeletons to spawn, so I don't know. That was pretty good, I guess. I'm just kidding, that's awful. Oh yeah, remember the nether portal build thing I was talking about? Yeah, here's a nice satisfying speed build of it on day 59. And then I spent day 60 and day 61 making smooth stone and charcoal to make more smooth stone so I could make the blocks to build the thing. You know how this goes. And then day 62 was construction continuation time. Now I'm pretty sure it's mostly due to the fact the texture pack just looks good, but this thing was looking really nice. I continued working on it for a couple of days, and by day 67 it was looking exactly how I pictured it, just perfect. Alright, on day 68, my desperation for XP had reached its maximum. See that top right of my, the thing on top right of my, screen? I can't speak English. Well, I'm gonna go raid a village, okay? And then I'm just gonna eliminate the pillagers for XP. Yeah, sorry if I can't speak. I've just reached a level of desperation that's beyond anything. It's fine, I'm still elite. I'll respawn and I'll be right back. Ah, it's these axe guys. Look at this. What? Let's just go home. Alright? Let's just go home. On day 69, I realized I wasn't actually finished with this nether portal area thing. So I got to finishing that, and then I even added these torches. And the only thing that's missing now is an actual nether portal. And then I spent the rest of my day fishing, and that gave me an idea. Why don't I make an automatic fish farm for XP? I did that for literally like a second, and I got bored and decided I should probably just go mine for some iron. But I did eventually get it done, and on day 71, what I did was automatic do I have to tell anyone that I'm using an auto clicker to do this? Trust me, the loot wasn't that great. This was purely literally just gonna give me XP. And then I figured it would probably be cool to build like a little area around it, like a fenced off zone, so I don't die if I go AFK while, you know, doing this. And I continued to do it on day 73 too. I don't know if you still remember why I was going on this whole XP hunt, but it was to make this fishing rod. I wanted to mix the fishing rod that I had with the fishing rod that I fished, and yeah, I did that. And then I went mining until I would get all the iron on the planet. This is what I wrote on my notes, by the way. I don't know. But not only did I find iron, I found some diamond too. I'm getting really lucky with this diamond. On day 77, I made a single block of obsidian. And then on day 78, I placed it down to my mock portal. And then I did some auto fishing for the rest of the day. And that AFK fishing continued until day 79. By the way, don't worry about the loot I'm getting, it's just fish. Right? Literally just fish. And then for some reason I spent day 80 just looking around, and I don't blame myself. This thing looks amazing. Like, I never get tired of looking at just how good this looks. And then on day 80, I was too lazy to build a place dedicated to sheep. So I just kind of tied this one. And then on day 81, I went out looking for a ruined nether portal, but of course I never found one. But hey, thank goodness on day 82, I found a pool of lava. So now I can actually build the nether portal. And then on day 83, it was time to see what goes on in the nether. I especially wanted to see how good the textures looked in the nether, because I hadn't seen them thus far. And then like a fool, I forgot to put gold on. No, 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 no. Please go, go, go. Ah! That man followed me. That man followed me. Are you kidding? Okay. Don't be afraid. Wait. I want you to stick around. Please, oh, okay. Did you hear that? Yeah, take care of that for me. Oh, wait, he transformed. Don't forget whose cow farm you're in. Yo. Anyway, the piglin that turned into a zombie pigman, his name's Dan now. And then I headed back to the nether to get those crazy lights, you know the ones I mean? And then on day 84 I figured I'd go do some mining, and you won't believe what I found. The elusive mob spawner. I was so happy to find this thing. I'm so glad. And then on day 85 I named the one sheep that I have, the one. I spent the next 2 days strip mining for diamond, and I will say my luck was pretty good. I didn't even go to sleep while I was strip mining. I really I needed to get some diamond armor. And I'll say this, there was no shortage of diamonds. And then on day 88 I started work on making this more efficient XP farm rather than just a mob farm. And on day 89 I got enough diamonds to make some of my armor except for the pants. And then, over the next 2 days, I finished up the mob farm, and I'm so glad I ended up finding this thing. Even though, you know, it probably would have been more use earlier on, but anyway. I spent day 91 collecting some XP. I was closing in on day 100 pretty quickly, so on day 92 I made some charcoal so I could heat up all the copper that I'd been collecting over the 100 days so I could make that giant sword I was talking about. And then on day 93 I made an underground furnace room just for the copper. And all this is just so I can make a giant sword statue out of the copper blocks. And then on day 94 I decided to do some fishing while I wait for the copper to cook for that day. Day 95 I was just collecting some XP. And then for the next couple days I decided it was time to build up that copper sword statue. And I'll be honest, it was really underwhelming. Right? I thought I had enough blocks to build this tall, insane looking statue, but instead I ended up with this. I didn't know what else to do on day 99, so I just did some auto fishing. And then on day 100 I figured it would be pretty cool to just kind of look around at the world and see how everything looks. I mean, it's still honestly just eye candy looking at this. I mean, even besides the fact that it looks just like the trailers, it looks really good on its own. And that was it. My 100 days in a world that looks just like the Minecraft trailers, or at least as close as we can get. Listen, if at any second you enjoyed this video, if you watched this far, I'm assuming you probably did, I invite you to hit the subscribe button, okay? And if you stick around, you will have an amazing time. I always do my best to ensure that. Alright? Man, the world really looks so cool. And listen, stay hopeful. I'll see you in the next video. Until then.